What do you mean there's no sound? Oh, are you kidding me? I freaking hate everything. Whatever. I don't fully care. Oh, there's the window. Alright. Yeah. There was music for me. Kill me. Alright. Ooh. Hold up. I wasn't yelling at you. Stop. What the heck? There we go. Okay. Stop it. We're not doing this again. Please ban me. Alright. So, Cowboy Man is under suspicion. Why'd you do that? What is wrong with you? Hold up. I gotta...
Get the hell out of my suit!
With the technical sounds, I didn't do none. You did everything. Look, it's February 24th, 9:41 a.m. Tonight is a mistake, by the way. Because of work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Not a good day. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. Is this game good? It's so good. You have no idea. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Mana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, so... So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky, we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today, and I just announced it to the world. Hey everybody! I found a cowboy's bloody fingerprints on a locker in the evidence room. Nobody's listening. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt, isn't that right, Miss Sky? Also, I can be loud right now, so that's great! I won't get used to it. Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. The prosecution is cocky. I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But, that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edward's car. Oh, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. It won't. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Oh, wait, not that guy. You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Yeah. He's a dork! Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that'd be murderer, sir.
No! No!
This guy's totally the bad guy. He just confessed. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've gotta believe me, sir. God, I forgot he did that. Actually, what we'd like to... Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults, can't possibly comprehend. Please, Edward, sir, help me, sir. Exo 6 looks weird. It'll even look even weirder on Friday. I don't think I'm gonna do a stream Sunday. It was in the cards, but nah. I'm gonna just rest. Give us a report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. What does that mean? You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Hi, Will. You want to be this nerd? Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I can try. Okay. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Okay. Let me open Discord. Boop. There you go. He gives me Barney Fife vibes. Barney Fife. Hello. What?
Are you gonna share your screen?
Oh right, I do have to do that, don't I?
I can hear myself.
You can hear yourself?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, Andy Griffith. That's why I recognize it. Okay.
Yep.
I just never hear the last name.
Oh, wait, I know why I can hear myself. I forgot to mute stream.
That might be why.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yep.
Alright.
I thought I did.
I don't have to worry about that then. Share screen. Share the wrong screen. Boop. Look at the judge going, So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. God, I hate him.
Do unto others before they do unto you, before they do unto you, before they do unto you.
Uh-huh. Good stuff.
That's Meekins' family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Did you deserve it? Very well. The defense may begin its cross-exam. What I need here is more info to work with. Huh?
Oh, wait, huh?
What?
Moment.
Are you okay?
No.
Somebody get him some help. He's in Georgia.
Stop. I need to go on Do Not Disturb. I'm trying to pop out chat so I can actually see while I'm doing thing.
Alright. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir! Sorry, I was busy. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir!
Georgians need more than some help. You're right. Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
I come in here to co-com for Ian, and I'm just blasted. How rude.
You needed help. We're calling 911. They're on their way right now. His social security is... Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
Yeah, that sounds right. The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. It's so weird to say sir, because I never say that.
Yeah, no, me either.
I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
You can't hear the music, right?
I can.
Oh, you can? Okay. I love this song. I don't know why the Blue Badger did it, but the Blue Badger did it.
Totally did.
Sounds
Look
like
at his eyes.
Yeah, honestly. Sounds like a very important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Spotted...
I spotted...
No, you don't have to.
Okay,
you don't have
just
to do
read
this.
through. Yeah, it's green. I remember now.
Yeah. It's not my normal duty. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Spotted suspicious man. Only duty
My
that I
lips
was
have been
told
so
to-
fucking dry.
What?
My lips have been so fucking dry. That's not...
Mine too. The entire day. It's been a problem.
For like the past week.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? For us... Oh, wait, that's you. Ha.
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So you do. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Who are you, Meekins?
There it is! I found it! This is the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I was making sure I said those numbers correctly.
That's alright.
Numbers are hard.
But the number 49 whatever that was is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
That makes sense. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I was spotted. Yeah, that's when I was spotted the man on the security screen.
Okay.
You're gonna need that, Ader.
Yeah. So I got this this timesheet last session. Where is it?
It's been a minute since I've caught one of these streams,
Yeah.
just so you know.
This has been a pretty crazy case. Last case was also crazy. These cases are good.
Wait, question.
Yeah?
Did you do anything with a parrot at some point?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Did you cross-examine a parrot?
I sure did cross-examine the parrot.
Yes!
That was a really good time. Also,
I'm so sad I missed it.
Also, yeah, me too. Also, almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas.
Yes! That's a meme from... So, you haven't seen 3 memes from this one game.
Let's see, the almost Christmas one, is the parrot one of them?
Yes, cross-examining a parrot.
Cross-examining a parrot. Bring in the parrot. What was the other one?
That's a stepladder.
Oh, the stepladder. Okay. Your camera got messed. Yeah, I did bang that pretty hard. Alright. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so... Not that. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir! A knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir! I swung my arms like an octopus struggling to detain him. That's very interesting. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
To say you flailed like an octopus is like this.
Yes.
I was wondering about it, Gash. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hands wouldn't be...
When I... Okay. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked.
Is everything fine?
Everything's good. Don't worry.
Hmm.
If I'm reading things out loud, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
I guess.
I grabbed the man by his collar.
Just grabbed it. Another officer smacked him awake. I wonder if that was Marshall.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir.
I will not stop banging things.
The man had his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched the knife from him. I'm throwing in words.
Close enough. You took his knife?
Close enough. I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I'm proud of you. I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then, the next thing I knew...
Yeah?
He punched me right in my face, sir!
You know, that didn't actually affect me that time. I'm going numb. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
What is this?
He hit me right in the head, too.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir.
Right.
I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now. Believe you now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, it's tagging that is me. Don't worry.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell.
I thought you were looking away. A V? What is that? Is that one of them?
Chief Gadget delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
Is that one of them newfangled DVD devices?
Oh yeah, totally.
The Chief delivered it. Gant is very suspicious. I don't know how to feel about him. I love him, but... What is that, a videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape. Why does he say sir so much?
It's his thing.
Well, why? What's the pun with his name?
Sir! I don't know what Mike Meekins is. He carries a megaphone with him.
It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Maybe he is meek? I don't know the exact definition for that.
No, he's not meek in the slightest.
Okay. I don't know the exact definition of meek. It's never used. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Aw, poor dude. Looks like communication with the department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me. Okay, maybe he has meek.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Popcorn time, let's go! Great, the music is playing while there's a murder happening. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the handprint's still there. Okay. I'm expecting a jump scare.
Me too.
Ah! Coat! A tall man in a white coat. That's a thing that only I would get. What kind of security camera is that far down?
It's a good question.
Da, da. Da, 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 da. Mike Meekins.
Hey boy.
Jeez, Mike. Get a hold of yourself. Oh my god. Yeah, this is animated. This is really weird. Because the rest of the game hasn't been like this. I mean, Case 5 has been really different from the rest of the game. Where did he go? Wait. There's no other exit. Where did this man disappear to?
That way. You can't see where I'm motioning to, but that way.
Are you sure?
Fairly certain.
Wait. I don't know if I saw that right. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the heck was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's a blue badger, sir.
I think he meant you, Mike. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Okay, I got the video. Yeah, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and okay, I didn't press X. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, there has been a lot of people cutting into other people's talking in this case, too.
Huh.
The witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir.
Alright. Part 2! The Mystery Man.
Begin.
Start, though.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Blech. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. Cross-exam. I don't know where this will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. That was a really well-done cutscene, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe the phrase we're looking for there is called Sakuga.
Huh?
Sakuga.
I don't know if you can hear soundboard, but...
I can. Sakuga is a Japanese term meaning It basically is like when animation goes from like its regular quality to like several steps above where it's normally at. A good example of this is Nichijou.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Nichijou takes Sakuga to like a whole nother level.
Huh. I learned a new word. We all did. You are a nerd. It's a good time. At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife.
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter?
It's a step ladder. The ladder, but you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes. But I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir.
Dude.
I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Okay, yeah, he is meek.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna lose his badge.
I think he's gonna lose his badge. I don't know if you know, Will, but, the premise of this case is the same guy got murdered in 2 locations at the same time.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So one of them may or may not be the victim. You don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Goodman's face.
He's got a very pretty face.
He does.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must... Oh.
Wait, did I do this one? Oh, no.
Yeah, looks like it.
Only you can... No, this is different.
Oh, he just did the exact same thing, though.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing. That's why I was a little confused. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Shut up. The chicken noise. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of the moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir!
You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. Open the locker. Okay, I have 3 more save proofs. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir! I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past.
Wait.
They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
Why did you... Yeah, what kind of methods and why? If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person who the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this too.
Okay. How do you know that info?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
You're basing this off of rumors? People in the know?
The workers in my department, cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed.
What?
They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
Oh my.
Oh my. I do not have my sound going right now.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Goodman. I verified this info through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Maybe. No one else could have unlocked it. I didn't find any contradictions. The most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face.
Sir! If I may say something, sir?
You're here to say stuff. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir.
Because, I mean,
it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir.
We should be examining the hand.
My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yeah, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? There's gotta be a problem with it. I mean, one of the main problems is he never left. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. How am I going to do this? He would want me to point it out. He would want me to point it out. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause. Thank God. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. I wonder if that's an actual thing. Do I have it a certain amount of times? How did this guy ever become a police officer? I took your line, sorry. Now that Mr. Wright plays enlighten us. Where's the contradiction? Okay. Oh, hold on, I need to move the window. I can't see the controls. Okay. So, fun fact. I don't have an A or a B button. I have to stay away from triangle at the very least. Is that rewinding? Yeah.
No, that's fast forwarding.
Oh, that's pause. Okay. Oh, I can go frame by frame.
Yes, you can.
That's fast forwarding. I think.
It is.
That's fast forwarding. I was right! Okay, I did want to see that.
See what?
So... when it goes back over here, this has nothing in it. And when I searched the evidence room, it did have something in it. And at the end of the video, it had something in it. Like, his coat, it looked like. Just hanging out of there. And I want to know if that's the contradiction?
We'll find out here in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward until I see that part.
Okay, it might be right here.
Yeah, it should be here. Because he doesn't leave, and the code is there. I noticed that the first time, and I wasn't sure. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be this. Oh, maybe I have to... I need to use my eye drops. I don't get it. Mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again.
Maybe you should click on the coat
itself.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Okay. Sometimes the point and click ones are a little finicky.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't seem like I have a certain amount of times to do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Nope. I wish it sped up the music.
I'm happy it doesn't, though.
Me too.
That would be a headache.
I'd be fine with it. I'm trying to see if I notice anything else that it might be, because just in case that's not it.
I mean, the other thing that I think it might be is you may have to tap on it before the code's in there.
Yeah, that's the only other thing I can think of too. I don't notice anything else happening. Okay, let's pause it. There we go. I'm on the coat. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. Point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh yeah, I almost walked right into the defense's trap. Shut up!
I'll place him under arrest, sir!
Shut up!
Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now, what do I do? I probably shouldn't return to the cross exam. Is there anything I noticed about that? Something that makes it not Goodman. Oh, I can't fast forward in that. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Alright. So it's not the coat. Something...
I mean, it might be the closed locker.
I don't know. It might be. I do wonder... No. Never mind. I don't know. I don't think the closed locker will do anything to say that it isn't him. I can't figure out the glove. I don't know if the glove has anything to do with anything. Well, I have nothing to lose.
Or so it would seem.
That's strange. What could it mean? Okay. No, he's calling me out on it. Maybe I should just return to cross-examining. Because there's not much to go on in that video other than him leaving.
And I'm halfway tempted to look it up.
If anything, just to point me in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm glad this doesn't take away any of my, my health, at least. Alright. The only other thing I can think of, aside from the closed locker, is, maybe poking at Mike while he's down on the ground. Because, like, that's when he disappears. The guy's just gone. There's Mike. Blood on the coat.
What day is this?
This is the third day, I think? First trial. There's Mike on the ground. Actually, hold on. I wonder if... Does that change at all? No. No, it's not being tampered with. I was thinking maybe the timestamp would change. But nah, he just disappears. Let's point at Mike. No, it's not that.
Okay. I figured it out. I figured out, I mean,
So is it
Reddit.
Is it in the video? I think it's the crack in the wall. Or should I cross-examine again?
I believe it is in the video, yes.
It is in the video. Okay. If I could remember what the red text was for, Crack in the wall. That one? Or that one? I don't know. I don't know about those. He walks by. Hold on. I wonder if there's something close up that I'm missing here. I don't see anything.
And now I shall keep quiet.
Why?
Because I know the answer to this.
Just tell me if I'm warm or cold. Actually. That's most of his face that you can see. And that doesn't really match up. Yay or nay? William?
Wait, you know what?
Is it... That's like the most you can get of his face in this video. Is it that?
I will say it has nothing to do with his face.
Okay. Does that have something to do with Blue Badger? Because I'm kind of ignoring him, but at the same time, I feel like he's so centered.
I'm looking into...
Have full cheat for you. Maybe.
We know why he's there!
What?
The Blue Badger, why is he in there? We know why he's in there.
Yeah. No, we know why he's in there. Oh, I see. Pulls a knife. Is it the knife? Hold up. Usually in Edward's toolbox. Traces of victim's blood, no prints. He's not wearing gloves. Is it the blade? Huh?
Hold on. I'm reading into this.
Oh, I see. You don't know.
Okay, I think I see. I think I know what it is.
Is it the blade or not?
I want to see just how visible this is.
What,
it's not the blade.
Oh, okay.
I think it's towards the beginning of the video, actually.
Is it toward the beginning? Okay.
Yeah.
When he walks in, or before he walks in?
Before he walks in.
Alright, so that's him walking in. Huh. Huh. There's a light on the locker. Hold on. I want to say something. No, it doesn't turn off. What about in the next swipe? Is it the light that's already on the locker? Yeah,
I'm still looking around myself.
the glove falls off of Alright, well, I'm gonna try the light. Because, like, that shouldn't be on. That's gotta be it. Oh.
Sir! Do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this.
Hope you like this song!
I sure do. When he opens the locker, a glove falls out. It had nothing to do with the glove. I already pointed at that one. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint, if it's a match. But it was already open. The light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. It's a video, sir.
Videos are comprised of pictures.
But, no.
I'm not wrong and you know it.
You're not, but you are.
But I'm not.
So...
Shut up!
We're not watching the entire video again. Phoenix?
Yes, we are.
Phoenix, point out your issue. Phoenix!
Barrel, 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 barrel.
Thank you. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. No!
No!
Phoenix! God, I hate VHSs. Phoenix, you make me angry, Phoenix!
Shut up! Barrel, barrel!
Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. It is indeed quite lit, Judge. Precisely my point. The locker was already opened before the victim grabbed the handle.
Ah!
I love how stiff he is. Order, order, what's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Maybe something like jammed the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. I thought so too. Okay, this is the code. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Actually, no, it's the glove that falls out. I'm stupid. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked because of... Ba 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 da 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 da. The glove. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Do 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 do. I wonder if there's a remix of this trap mix of freaking Blue Badger theme.
I can find out.
Please do. I'm gonna start next session with that. I prefer the music over the... What's this? Hello? Can you stop? Why are you like this?
And who's not?
My controller being stupid. Something white fell out of the locker. That's racist.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out. Ready?
I did that
Often
on
fall
accident.
down and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir.
I didn't do that. We can't be sure. That item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Can we stop? Can we just skip to the part? Scene selection. It exists for a reason.
Not in VHS tapes, baby. You should know that.
Man, they
You're old.
They go to Blockbuster too much. Be kind, please rewind. And then they constantly rewind it. And then let it play constantly. This is the one movie that I've seen the most this year. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie.
What?
2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir.
Same dude.
Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. A rubber glove. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description.
But, sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? Do I have the glove? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Oh, I do have the glove. Okay, cool. I kind of thought I didn't. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Exclamation! The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir! It would appear so, sir.
So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled. What do you mean, Edward? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. I don't know how.
Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir.
Well, edgy.
Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
God dang it. Is this a joke? Very well, begin.
Part 3, baby.
Let's go! Mystery Man 2! 2! Alright.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use an ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
What? An ID card record, I see. I have the ID... Well, there is one we still don't know about. The top one. Whoever's all 7s. Blaze it. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. I don't even remember saying that. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Is that why Mike was there? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. I see. Now let us move on to the cross-exam. 2. Alright. Love the way he blinks. I'll just do all of them. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. And my hand wasn't wrapped up in bandages. I'd even give you V for victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
I was just thinking that.
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. True. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card is right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
What if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. You remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of the car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me.
Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the department and the office can attest to this. Please proceed. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see, yes, that would be it. Goodman. What's the matter? According to this... Edgeworth, your name's on here. Yes. So it is, Your Honor. I did it. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all of this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Just like Von Karma. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer?
Mommy!
Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let's continue. Poor Edgy. It must be so difficult for him.
One edgy boy.
One edgy boy indeed. Alright, that's the last one. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Bah?
Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. I'm spacing out a little bit. I'll be honest.
That's okay. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked.
Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? Problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we got. We ain't got nothing, Emma!
Which means you gotta show something at some point.
Yeah, I know. That's the issue.
What makes the most sense here?
Alright, so... the ID card record. We're missing one thing. Mike went at 4:50 and then 5:50. Or 5:14. I don't know. I'm thinking I show the ID card record at... this part? Probably at the last statement. That's the only thing I can think of. Fingerprints aren't gonna do anything yet. The jar's not. Could be the locker too, but I don't think so. Floor plans? No. Lost item report. Ooh, actually that could be. I wonder if that has something to do with it. What did that say? 5-7? No, that doesn't really match up with anything. I'll do the card record here. No, the music didn't stop. What do you think about the witness's statement? Not sure I follow? God dang it. Whoa, give me a hint.
Working on it.
Oh, I thought you already had it up. That's why... I thought you were being vague. Never mind.
No, I just... No.
Okay.
Okay, I found it.
Isn't it the, My thoughts were either the, Hold on. God, there's so much stuff. Either the ID card record or the lost item report. What's the screwdriver for? Brought back to... Oh.
I don't know what kind of hint to give here, I'll be honest.
That's fair. I never really...
Why am I pinged?
A116, what's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edward said. Who knows? Wouldn't that be nice? I don't think I ever looked at the screwdriver. Well, it's not that. The fingerprinting set isn't anything. Well, is it the ID card record?
Do you want like a straight up yes or no to that?
Yes.
No.
It's not. Okay.
It's not that.
Then my only other idea is the lost item report. What day is this? This is day 3.
But on which section would you do this? What part of the testimony would you do this on?
That's a good question. ID card. To enter the evidence room, must use their ID card. At the time of the crime, detective had used his card. I mean, it doesn't seem like any of them really match up. Can only be submitted to the chief of police. Bruce Goodman, 221, 5, 7, or 9. And he doesn't have the item lost, so that doesn't help.
Just so you know, Sam, I have looked it up. I know what the answer to this is. So.
Oh, was that a bot?
Both of those were bots, yes.
Huh, I didn't even see him.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
My only other idea is the evidence locker. Well, if it is the lost item card, I would think during the last statement, statement 4 or 1. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Is it the locker? Let me press H again. believe this to be rock solid. Solid stone. Right.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna use the bathroom because I am full of pee.
Alright, have fun. That doesn't really give me anything. It's all about the ID card. Maybe it's the ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Hold on, let me look at his ID card again. Maybe there's something here. Doesn't say anything. Sergeant Bruce Goodman, 5842189. Yabba dab. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm thinking it's ID card because
Beep, beep.
at the time of the crime,
I have returned.
I'm thinking I present the ID for the last for his last thing because I mean he didn't have it. I found it at the office.
Try it.
Good choice. All right, everybody's on board. Let's go. Music stopped. Yeah, I'm just stupid. I was really
Aren't we
overthinking
all?
it.
You really were.
I was thinking about the ID sheet, and I'm like, no, wait, I have the ID card right here. Ugh.
So the thing is, you could have. So you presented one of the two things you could have presented here.
Oh, there were two things.
Yes. The lost item thing.
Oh, it could have been the lost item thing.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
Huh. Would the lost item also have been for that dialogue?
It's 2, 3, or 4.
2, 3, or 4. Huh, okay.
Yeah, any of them would have worked.
Interesting. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No, it does not. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. I do. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report is only half completed, but it shows that Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Goodman was not carrying his card. Ugh. Stop it. It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. God dang it. If I could stop, I would. I don't know why it's like this.
What's happening?
My controller keeps disconnecting.
Oh.
Open volume mixer. System sounds. Let's turn that off. It's not Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Got him. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yeah? What's he up to?
What is he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. I guess that's right. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't gonna end well. Hate that smile. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Edward. Defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the parking lot. At the office, the murderer being misled by the defendant. Evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Miles, please. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object! I don't know what I'm objecting to, but object. One moment. Oh, you know what? It's 4 memes, because one of the other ones was Miles being like, I was hoping to come up with an objection while I was objecting. I did not.
I've never seen that around, but I'll take your word for that.
That was a freaking fantastic moment. I loved it. He just objects out of nowhere. He's like, "What's the problem, Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with an objection while I was objecting. I did not." I think that was trial 2.
I mean, I was there for that, so I think so as well.
Yeah, maybe. Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-exam has proven one thing and one thing only. That Mike is very good at karate. The security video did not show the actual murder. Do 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 do. Yes. Is there more to this?
I don't see a dead person.
I mean, he's kind of dead. Just a little bit dead. And then it shows the coat in the locker, which is off too. If we can find out that guy's locker. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Edgy? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We've not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Do you mean... That's right, Chuck Norris.
I was thinking that as well.
Good. It could also be, what is it? Oh god, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Whoever plays Sam in Supernatural. Is it Jen Ackles? No, I think that's the other guy. I think that's Dean. Defense would like to request a specific witness. Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Jared Padalecki. No, it's because he's the new Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. They rebooted the show, and he's the new Chuck Norris. This person who you would have testify, what is his or her name? It is Damon Gant, age 65. Hey, look, we get all these. Mike is 22. Marshall's 33. Goodman 36. 29. 16. 31. Alright. That guy. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgy know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. Prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well, the court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. I'm feeling like a game of chess this time. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time, while on a slide? Court is now in recess. Chess while on a slide. Let's go. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? No. What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Joke's on you. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? This literally could be fixed with just, like, 2 words. Is Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you? I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Gumshoe!
Gumshoe! Yay! Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, there he goes. He's sad. Wait, Gumshoe, what is it? Help. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey, hey, hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho! You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Erie might do well to read them. That's a lot. That's too much. I want to play chess on a slide. I can't believe you. the chief prosecutor, with a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Joe Dark killings, solved 2 years ago. Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with serial murders. Moidas. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma? Why? Why is your name in here? Because I was killed. What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark E killings. Joe Dark? No. No, Lana. That's over with. Oh, she's scared. Did she faint? Oh, she ran. Okay. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Far from here. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. He also ran. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. The plot thickens.
To be continued.
What's a Joe Dark? Who's Joe?
Why is it so dark?
Oops. Your Honor, it says here that Joe Dark had Ligma. What's Ligma? Defense?
Ligma nuts?
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Lana. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witnesses to stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. There he is. Sir, you're not allowed to bring alcohol into the freaking... Witness, please stop drinking and state your name and occupation. Sir? Sir? Hold on. I got this. He's still drinking. Hey, partner. I'm just a man, same as you, wanting to chance of civilization.
He's not drinking anymore.
He was. And it still counts.
He was, but he's not anymore.
It counts.
So you're a dingus.
No, you're a dingus. It counted.
You're a dingus.
Occasionally helping the elderly across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Oh.
Why is he like this?
I don't know. I need to cap this back up.
But sir, there's no wind in this courtroom.
There might be. Someone left a window open. There we go.
I'm glad that's where you went, not the idea that came to my head.
What was yours?
People be farting up in here.
Oh, I guess. It's a lot of hot air blowing around. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgy described that way before. Now, Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place.
Splish.
Will, how good are you at doing a westerner, like a cowboy?
I can't do accents.
Please do a cowboy accent.
I can't. That's,
do your
it's
best.
very close to a southern accent.
Do your best.
I can't do that southern drawl, which means I can't do a cowboy accent either.
Just try it. I want to hear it.
No, I'd rather not. I know what I can and cannot do. This is one thing I cannot do.
Please, mine sucks.
It's better than mine.
No, it's not. According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
I do need more drink, though.
See, how was that? That was terrible.
Better than mine.
Is it? I don't think so.
I may be born in the South, but I can't do a southern accent.
You're Southern. Surely you have something.
No, I got nothing when it comes to Southern accents. Can't do that drawl.
I don't believe you.
Maybe you should be like Naruto and believe it.
No! No!
Shut up.
But
It was nice to meet you. Now go away.
Okay.
maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. My controller keeps disconnecting, but hey, at least you can't hear the noise anymore. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
If you can hear me, leave.
I didn't.
Yeah, because they're streaming.
Yeah. Baby, come back. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Bone orchard? In English. It said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
I think he means graveyard, cemetery.
But, no, he means the evidence room, I think. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems, anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Sir, we found your bloody fingerprint. Oh, shoot. Can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Oh!
Wait a
Judge
minute.
got roasted.
Yeah, the judge just got murdered. And now Marshall is charged with 3 murders. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yeah, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. Why did you think he would be? He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, right, he's all yours.
Have fun!
Day of the crime. Alright, what do you got? Objection, what's a bone orchard? How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? Yeah. I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. You interred them? I accidentally did a thing. Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase the tape, I felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. He doesn't have a card. The setter was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? Ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. You're not a desperado. No desperados I know join the police force. So Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think they just keep him around for his, uniqueness.
You already took this one out, I think.
No, you used to be a
Oh,
detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. Still is. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint mechanism. Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. It's not a machine.
Technically speaking, it is.
No, not really.
It is.
No.
It's a man-powered machine, but it's a machine nonetheless.
Man-powered makes it not a machine.
It kind of does.
No.
Yeah.
That's quite incredible. Sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Gumshoe said something like that too. Shut up, both of you.
Shut up!
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? I was at a bar downtown. Hold it, what bar? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Why is that so funny? The same dude.
Because spaghetti westerns!
Oh my god, you're right. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Von Gole's sepia pasta. Von Gole's sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Dude.
I would.
Who wouldn't? That's actually fair. I retract my hold it.
I would abandon most duties for some nudes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. I could really go for a taco. It's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. It has not. That's strange. This is usually where Edgy says, "Did you not want to raise this year?" Yeah, what's the deal? I'm just an innocent traveling man. Alright. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. Wait. So you know how to use a cart? Objection.
Cart machine?
Yeah. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. You were born in Ohio. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante.
Which means you gotta show something.
Yeah, if I remember right, I was at... I think it's this. If you're out of ammo, I'm not. I literally have the ammo right here. It's your fingerprints. Your bloody fingerprints on your locker. Also, I have not checked this. Joe Dark, serial murder, death. Oh, he got the death sentence.
Oh!
Hold up. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall?
Neil Marshall.
Huh. Trial data, head prosecutor Edgeworth, witnesses for Lana and Emma. Executive investigators Lana and Damon. Head investigator Bruce, investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Stark. Neil Marshall and Jake Marshall, that had to have been his brother or dad or something. So that's important. I'll give him his fingerprints here.
That seems to be correct.
Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that it's you being called in to testify like this? ... partner. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. I would do that every time, but no. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Wasn't real good, partner. Us Texans don't have fingerprints.
No! No! What the?
Alright. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respect. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural for my fingerprints would be in there. Bloody? Bloody. They're bloody. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Marshal? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. What does that mean?
They ain't got no brain.
I take it you have an explanation then, Marshal. Plenty of reasons why he had bloody fingerprints. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Edgy, going Texan. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of crime. Left the bloodstains on the carpet. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be covered in blood. I mean, to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense says do the thing. This guy's hiding something, you can feel it. Oh, he sure is. That's my chance to prove it. Alright. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood thing. I feel like I have something to tell him to shut up with. That's because you, how'd you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Updated? Found on blame. Oh. Well, I already kind of gleamed that that was his locker. And he shoved his code in there. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain? My locker's covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened. Okay, that was nothing. Chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's type of murder. That Trix rabbit didn't do anything wrong, partner. He's right, although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
Same?
How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? A seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There are no buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The tape? So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-exam. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? Huh. Yeah, too bad. Do I have to check the tape again? Because I can... The coat! What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Yeah, it's true. That's how he snuck out. Camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Oh, he crawled under. That makes sense. Oh. It disconnected again.
Oh.
There we go. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have your time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Marshall was present, please do so now. It's that coat. It's been bothering me for the longest freaking time. An entire week. Allow me to point out your mistake, Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Let's have another look at that video. Show this... Oh, I have the health bar this time. Alright. No! I pressed the wrong button. I pressed triangle.
You did indeed. Goodbye, health!
God dang it. There's nothing there. He gets carried away sometimes. Will you forgive him too, Marshall? He's not a bad man, just a bit disillusioned. I hate... I was gonna try and fast forward. Not one to get down on armed boys. Great, now Edgy is defending me. Guess that means I missed the mark. Yeah, you did. You pointed at a random object. That's it. This. Right here. This is it. It's circle. Please, bring me back to the video. God dang it. It's the coat! I hate everything. Please, you went through all of this already. God. No. Alright. There we go. Ba ba ba. I just really like this song. This should be the last time I use the video, too, I think. So knife fights. Okay, now he's crawling under. And boom.
Take that!
Bringing our attention back to the camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? 8 words or less? Very well.
Let's do.
You did it. You can clearly be seen in this video. Hey, that's actually 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Good for you, Phoenix.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. Key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. And now we'll sit through the entire locker again, the entire video again, just to view this locker.
Nope, that's in the video.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Bum, bum, bum.
I guess it's not the Blue Badger theme.
I mean, I love Cornered. This is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
It's really hype. Fast forward it. Ah, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, that white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Maybe you should have stuffed it in faster. It would seem that's the only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. Us Texans don't have fingers. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. Mm-mm. Can't do that. It's not my fault he having to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? Bro. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that locker, dude. Oh yeah? I call you bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Well, I know what I'm presenting here. A fingerprint sensor? Look at him sweat. What is he holding? A stick? Or a piece of paper?
That is a stick.
Why is he
Wait, Vittles.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it might be Vittles. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Ooh. Got him. Yeah, he's biting it. It's Vittles.
No, that's jerky.
Oh, it's jerky. It's Vittles. I only got one word for you, partner. Die. Oh my god. Going full-blown anime.
You did.
You okay, dude?
No! No!
Order. Witness. That was really cool what you did there. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question.
What? Why?
Why? Alright, what is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? Seems Ray has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Wait, would he be the killer or the victim? I lose health. Just one of these. Well, he's opening the locker. Wait. No, I guess it would be killer. Right. I'm stupid. Marshall was standing right here. So Meekins didn't notice him standing there. It's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory. Chamber's empty, partner? Better reload. Oh no! Now they're getting up on me. I'm a stoopy. Meekins should have seen him in the evidence room. It means the only place he could have been would be... I guess he's the victim?
Maybe it's not necessarily one of those two spots. So this is the evidence locker room, right?
Yeah, this is the evidence room. He could potentially be in...
So what would be the path? So where did the incident take place?
Entrance, and then you go over here, and the blue badger's right here, and then that's the locker.
Okay, so where in that path would you not be able to see a person?
Well, a blind spot of the camera is here. I mean, any of these, really. But there is a bunch of junk here. There's kind of a bunch of junk here, but you could also hide behind that. So I don't know if I'm overthinking that. And then there's also this alcove, or that alcove. Like, there are plenty of places that are out of view of the camera, and I don't know if I'm overthinking it.
I can check and see if you're overthinking it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I overthink a lot of things. Because to stay out of Meekins, I mean, he would have had to follow Meekins in, right? Or...
Okay. It seems like we might be overthinking things a little bit.
Yeah? Is it one of these two circles?
It might be?
What do you mean it might be?
It might be?
My life's on the line.
Well, you've already clicked on one.
Yeah, I clicked that one, but if I don't want to click on this one if I lose health. I clicked on killer. I didn't click on victim.
But where else makes sense?
Any of these alcoves. Click on that one. The V.
I mean, you still have some health left anyway, so...
I have 3.
Just don't die.
Can you heal me, bitch?
Maybe I can!
Alright, I'll hit the V. Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim Goodman was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Goodman. See, that's what I was thinking. I believe the victim in the video is Marshall. It was you dressed up like Goodman. But that's preposterous. Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Meekins did not know Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. I asked him to show his card. Stop it, Meekins. He pulled a knife on me. Something about
reading a flashback, by the way.
What?
I refuse to read flashbacks.
Yeah, no, I don't usually either. It's okay. That's why I just kind of skipped through it. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? I mean, sometimes I do, like with Gumshoe. Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room.
Though.
Huh?
But Gumshoe's great, though.
Yeah, Gumshoe's great. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal. So he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Goodman's picture is on his card. I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Meekins would have realized the man isn't Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Marshall? Stop eating your jerky. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. What? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as a victim. Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. You can't use that again.
But you totally did.
You can't just do that again. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Marshall dressed up as the victim? I do not know. Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What could I do? Yes, Edgy? Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a place with run into a wall with no place to go, a place with no wall to go, return to the basics. Basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. Out of the box. Out of the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument. You watched Zoom? No one knows about that show except for me, and I thought it was a fever dream. That's fair.
Wait, what show?
Zoom. It,
Zoom?
If I remember right, it was the one with the lemur. Was it a lemur? Some kind of monkey. But yeah, no, I watched Zoom. No, wait, I'm thinking it was the Boom Fu, but I did watch Zoom.
Oh, out of the box. Out of the box. I actually watched that, and my co-com for tonight actually mentioned that.
Yeah, I crossed my wires. But yeah, I did watch I watched Zoom. I always refer to it as Out of the Box, because I thought it was called Out of the Box. Marshall dressed up as Goodman at the time of the crime. It was a good show. Goodbye, farewell. After the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. Zoom was the weird box fort thing, and that was a cool part of the song theme. Yeah, I liked it. Oh, it disconnected again.
Oh.
Hey, different wire.
Yeah.
Or to just sit in this position for 3 hours. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Gotta go through the video once more!
Do I have to hit the cloth again? Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness opened the locker. Why the locker was opened. It was called out of the box. I thought so.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I mean, okay. My only idea for this is, like, I click the coat that he's wearing. Because I think it's the coat.
But would you click it right now?
I don't know. I assume you click it at any point. I don't know what other cloth it would be. Because he doesn't really leave with anything.
Well, would there be a reason for him to... Like, why is he opening up his locker?
To shove the coat in.
Why would you need to do that?
So that he doesn't... Because it's bloody. So maybe the blood spot. Can't just walk out of the evidence room with a blood stain on you. So the blood stain?
I don't know.
Annie, are you okay?
What else would it be?
Let's go. For some reason you disguised yourself as Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. It is not bad, huh? Now then, Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Edgy. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Huh? Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. Alright, seems the time has come. What really happened? Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. It was at 5:16. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the room of the evidence floor. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? I don't think he bled out that much. Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. There's way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. Oh, we're just dropping that? Okay. Guess I'll just press all of these. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? SL9. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Marshall wasn't in charge of that. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I think he cared so much because it was probably his dad.
Maybe.
Why did you disguise yourself as Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the camera. And my ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in that door. That means Goodman must have opened the locker before Marshall. So, okay, the glove wasn't planted there, it was just an accident. It happened, I guess? Nah, I think it was planted. Alright, wasn't expecting Meekins. You pulled a knife on Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. There it is. When did Edgy get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry, it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. Okay, so it is that one. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and then what? Okay. 2 more. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tapes erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there was no murder. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from that locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Edgeworth, where's that evidence? It's still missing. Still missing? Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing an ID and treating a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that cuts are ever a valid solution. said. This isn't your case, this one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. You know why? That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. She said she. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with the incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. His dad. Being a victim.
Makes sense.
I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files. Alright. So, it's probably that. And then... Neil Marshall. Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I've had just the right amount. Objection. I have the incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall? Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. Huh. He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Okay, brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. Oh, and that's him in the corner, probably. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Is that Joe Dark?
Probably. He's got a knife.
Yeah, that's him. Look at them eyes. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. That is an evil man. Poor Marshall. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now I know what happened at the department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Deakins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. This mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the department. things that happen by chance never cease to amaze me. At exactly the same time as the murder at the office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. Yeah? So if no one was murdered at the department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the office's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Lana Sky. No, shut up. Wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the department today. There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the department. Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, Lana. I do. All of the mysteries at the department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Not really. There's still one. A sole murder took place at the office. The only suspect is Sky. And the testimony of one Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Objection.
Shut up.
That can be one word.
SHADDUP.
Yeah. I rest my case. Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, right? Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the camera's tape really was fake. God dang it. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. The one word is objection. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This
That's what I said!
I missed it. I give you all the credit. I'm sorry. Finds the defendant. Hold it. Who's doing this? Emma. Your Honor, wait. Emma? Defense has an objection? A scientific objection. Right? I think. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you the scroll's guardian? Kind of. In a sense.
In a sense.
All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Edgy, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute, I'll give you 3. Ooh. How nice.
He's more generous than I am.
Yeah. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured it out. If I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Did you find something? No. No. Dang it. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Literally how forensics works in court, they have to just step in because no one cares about them. Wow. Good luck.
Wow.
Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh. Time's up. Now then, right? With regard to the incident at the department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? I'm sorry it can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question. We don't have all day. Edgeworth over here with the eye rolls. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I have to object. It's the law. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. I think. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans.
Do you have to present evidence right now?
No, I was just checking something.
Okay.
Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, right? With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. Question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Blue Badger? Cause he was there. Like, right in front of the locker.
Why not try it? You don't have the health bar there.
Oh yeah, you're right, I don't have the health bar. So I don't have to worry too much. Oh yeah, you're still here. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself? Please look at the floor plans on the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not there. So watch what happens when we put him in. Just gonna draw. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. That's not what he looked like. It's a very bad rendition. Well, what? Yeah, edgy nose. That's right. So long as the Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. Nutty. Nutty.
Oh.
Oh, would you rather my epic Nani?
Do it.
Nani!
I need to get that as a sound clip.
Is it actually that good?
I like it. I collect nannies.
Nani?
So that means just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought. Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
That's a fun word, balderdash.
Balderdash, my favorite.
Far-fetched!
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but that is a Pokemon. But it's the only possible explanation. On the 21st, in the department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. Problem is the other time. Why are you still panning to the left?
Can't see
Yeah,
the handprint because
the Badger's
the
in the
Badger's
way.
right there.
Yeah. Just just right in the way. Another thing that's bothered me the entire case, like from the beginning, is there's a
handprint on his face.
There's a handprint on his face, and it's bothered me so much. Someone bled prior to the struggle showed on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. I refuse to accept your refusal. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the line. Look at them going back and forth. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, Marshall's just like, can I go home now? We done?
No, it's cute. I don't feel involved in this anymore. I just go home.
I really need to hit the little boy's room, partner.
I want to go get some spaghetti if you don't mind.
I need some spaghetti. When did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Probably that very first timesheet thing. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. Hold up. Let me double check something. I mean, we still don't know who All Sevens is.
We don't?
That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Edgy said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. What shows when the first crime took place? It's gotta be the timesheet.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
The report. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID. The record. Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40. Miles. Da 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 da. That's Edgeworth. Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Meekins and Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. Unless you're a speedster. Miles. Miles? That would mean the crime must have taken place before Edgy entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. All sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with all sevens. Edgy, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID. At least at present. Explain yourself, son. The ID number all sevens belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Is it Gant? Is it Gant? Is it Gant? It's Gant. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. It's freaking Gant. But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, right? There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. Official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the office operates. I take pride in my work, Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Huh? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID, and it's not all sevens. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. Answer me this. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Ooh. Hi, Lana. How you doing? Do you need the witness to repeat his question? I heard him fine, Edgy. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? You didn't. I don't have to, Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence... Oh, you don't do that, Lana. Lana, you're a bad guy. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No. Please, everybody, shut up.
Shut up.
Lana's remarks caused such a stir. We would have to wait until the following day. Man, that is noisy.
Yeah, that's very noisy.
That is very noisy.
Do you think you can knock out the rest of this trial in your normal time?
I mean, I can go a little over.
Okay.
Certainly sucks, though, because, I mean, how close am I?
Do you actually want to know that answer?
Yeah, because I have to get up at... I work 8 to 4 tomorrow. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
You have like an entire another day, it seems.
I feel like I should save that for next time. Most of it. I can maybe do some investigating. But like, an investigation and then a trial with probably 2 more witnesses. Or 2 more, whatever, testimonies.
It's probably going to be a long time, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think it will be. I'll start doing some investigation stuff.
Okay.
I'll go maybe another hour and see what I can get done. So sorry, right? I'm sorry for what my sister said. Yeah, that's all flashback. We just saw that.
Flashback.
I didn't know. I never knew that the incident was just another name for Joe Dark. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? I was murdered. It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings? On the night Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. He tried to kill you? Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. Eep. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Marshall showed up. Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Marshall tackled him. I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Edgy used it. Edgy? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Edgy, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgy really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crimes with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. Nutty. That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Alright, so I guess I'm going to the detention center. Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble, falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Emma told me about you. About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the incident was the reason for your transfer. That's right. Could you fill me in on details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? Suppose you have a right to know. I have a right to know everything. Stop hiding stuff. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was... the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. Couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Star, said. About you stabbing Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. There's Gant. They still talk about all the cases she and Gant cracked together. Gant? He was the deputy chief back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Her really idolizes her big sister. Hi, Mary! This has been a really fun case, but now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Tom did it, and it took him 6 hours. Wow. I can't imagine it being easy. He was assembling the Millennium Puzzle from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ah. I kind of want to do that.
Sounds like fun. It's a good trophy once it's complete. 2 years ago, I was second in command to the detectives investigating Dark. That means the investigation lead was Gant. Yeah, Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on force. 33 pieces? That seems like very little for 6 hours. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, though 3D puzzles are...
Yeah, 3D puzzles are something different.
Yeah. They hit different. Goodman, whose case it was, Marshall, and Star. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. You freaking loser. Gant and Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until they let their guards down, and then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. With an E. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and suspect Joe. During the struggle, it seemed Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Marshall? Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. So have you. I guess he wasn't convinced with the rulings against Joe. Life doesn't end with the closing of the case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Gant and I shared. The office that Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. We can't just go in there, though. Don't see Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? We can come back here later. Okay. Hi, Marshall. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Gay Sarah. You know, I don't know what that means. You never know where level leads you, Bambina. I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. What? Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Pet cactus, just over to the office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance. But we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Marshall, why did you do it? Why did prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was this one. Before you turn yourself in, Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Alright. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with evidence we found.
Alright, but this song, though...
Oh yeah, his theme is great. Is this your first time hearing his theme?
My first time paying attention to it, at least.
Huh. Yeah, no, I love his theme. It's great. For example, the murder weapon. You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. Question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound with the wound the victim sustained. Do you mean wound, Marshall? No. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around.
Oh, no, he's pretty handsome.
Yeah, he is. I mean, they're both really good. I like both of them. I can't choose. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the stupid award?
Just a big K on it.
Yeah. It's for king. What are you looking at me that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Goodman was murdered and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Gant is so suspicious. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since you left. Everyone who knew has said so. Chief Sky was totally different when she was detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Honest secret, it all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? I should have gotten you popcorn. It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. I don't think he is anyone's. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Oh, he spit it. Might want to pick that up, dude. That's littering. That's an offense. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Aw. Adios, Bambina.
And now he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. We'll never see him again. Let's go to criminal affairs now. Pretty empty, but today is deserted. Must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chows going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I'm gonna punch you for that.
You'd be really mad for the Yakuza games, because now I do know that E's are usually pronounced as an A, so like Mine is Mine, but anytime there's an E, I'm pronouncing it as like mine instead of Mine, or date instead of date, and vice versa. So like, I'm on a date. I have to go to meet up with date.
I'm gonna punch you.
Good. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Yes, sir, we'd like to have a look around Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to